the 7-time Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Small Market Station of the Year. 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
The following is a paid program. Advice and opinions expressed during this program are solely that of the Beaver Dam Unified School District, not WBEV or Good Karma Brands.
It is 11:12 here at 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV. I am Wade Bates, and we have a full house here as we talk about all the great things going on in the Beaver Dam Unified School District. Mark DiStefano, Superintendent, in the house as always. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic here today, and we haven't had guests on this show, I think, ever since maybe once or twice since I started kind of chatting with you every month. But today we have a full house if you're not watching on Daily Dodge TV.
Yeah, we think you finally made it to the point where you can handle multiple guests.
Okay,
so
thank you.
We've decided to bring some others with us. No, you've done a great job with some other folks, and we thought we'd bring some other members of our team in to share the air and talk about some of the things that they're really passionate and skilled in dealing with. So excited about it.
For those watching on Daily Dodge TV, do you want to introduce who's here first?
I do.
If you're watching.
You bet. So immediately to my left, is it my left on the screen too, Wade, or not necessarily?
I'm not smart enough to figure that out.
So this young lady is Nicole White. Dr. Nicole White's our Director of Human Resources. And then Ryan Cashman over here right next to you is our Director of Business Services for the district.
Welcome for both of you. Now, Nicole, we talked to you at the Career Expo, right?
Yes.
And to Ryan, we said we've maybe talked, you've done interviews and stuff, but never live.
Correct. Yep.
Previously. So welcome both today, and we'll dive into a bunch of stuff that you guys got going on today. But Mark, we're today we can eliminate today as a school day because it's basically done, right? We're almost to lunch.
I don't know about that, but okay, go ahead. I'm going to roll with you.
There'll be 10 days left for at least the students in the academic year, right? 1 today and 5
for
next
those
week.
that are counting. I think you're accurate. Yeah.
And I think
I never count. I'm in denial.
I told you last month, a lot of times my kids are counting down the days, and they're not. They weren't this year when I asked them a couple weeks back.
They're having a blast.
They're
learning. They're with their friends. It's good stuff.
It is, and there's so many different things going on in the district. Where do you want to start today?
Well, I want to start. We'll talk a little bit about some updates and celebrations, and particularly community engagement. I know the last time that we were on, I talked a little bit about the survey and our appreciation for that, and just want to reiterate our appreciation for all the community members that took and participated in the survey. So we exceeded our goal as far as the participation rate, which is really exciting. And the board will have an opportunity to process through and hear the results in early June, which we'll mention a little bit later. But also our community is really, really engaged in a lot of different activities going on at our schools right now. So whether it's supporting PTO fund runs, whether it's the community action planning effort and conversation that's taking place, and that's a city-based effort, but that'll be taking place at our high school. But again, a really good reflection of community engagement. The middle school just recently had their day of service, and they do that on an annual basis where the kids are out and about in the community at a variety of venues. And there's a lot of volunteers and organizations that partner with our staff to help make that day and that experience for the kids awesome and add value to our community as a whole. So really want to appreciate all of those folks. And right now, today is day 2 of career days at the middle school. So started planning a few years back. Tracy Probst, Nate Olson, Rob Meyer, some other team members from the middle school started planning this career day effort as an extension of kind of civics and their social studies unit in 7th grade. So I think yesterday there were between probably 16 and 18 employers at the middle school meeting with kids about prospective careers and talking about the value that those careers add to the community and the opportunities that those careers provide for kids, just to help middle schoolers start to think forward a little bit more than probably they would typically do. And then today, again, we've got about 18 to 20 different employers in our community who are all in our building, engaging with our kids, engaging with our staff, and helping set the stage for our kiddos' success moving forward.
Well, that's always great. I know my children mentioned being able to go to those things last year. I think one of my daughters rolled into an architecture talk, and that's something she's interested in, and she came out of it a little bit more excited about it. So it can kind of set the tone, set the table for somebody into career potentially just by having one interaction with somebody that is a professional in the field.
Yeah, and the kids go through kind of like I don't want to say a kind of a pre-screening, but selection where they identify 4 prospective fields that they're interested in based on who we're able to partner and get in. on those particular days. But it's a very diverse setup, and the kids get to experience those 4, and then they kind of narrow down their takeaways, and then they have to report out on what types of things they've learned from it, takeaways, and it ties in with career planning, it ties in with personal finance. So really nice connections for the kids, and again, kind of thinking forward and seeing the big picture and value of what they're learning.
So again, it's one of those outside the box types of things that really adds to their education here at the Beaver Dam Unified
and
School District.
And Tracy Probst from the chamber is phenomenal. And when it comes to this day, she's a huge part of that, and the other staff at the middle school that kind of co-partner and co-plan. But want to give a shout out to her for all the work that she's doing. So, yeah.
All right, so a lot of stuff going on there.
A couple other activities. You're covering some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're covering some of them. So it's that time of year. It's like the pinnacle season, right? Everything's kind of, I don't want to say coming to an end, but it's like that climax time with playoffs and other activities. So a lot of things to celebrate, a lot of opportunities for the community to come in and watch, whether they catch a baseball game, soccer, track and field, softball, all those things are going on. Key Club, actually a really popular community service organization that runs out of the high school. That's kind of the student side of Kiwanis, if you will. Very, very active group. I think their membership is 50 to 60 kids that are actively involved. So they're kind of wrapping up their service efforts and planning this year and planning forward into the summer and next year and what types of outreach activities. So just a lot of great things going on, a lot of kids engaged and giving back to our community.
Yeah, I think the music and like the both the choir, the vocal, the instrument, and the drama kind of all wrapping up their seasons as well. I know a couple of concerts last week. I don't know if you got a chance to get over and check them out. But
a lot of concerts. The auditorium's a busy place. It's a good thing. Everything from our student organizations to the community organizations and performance groups. So it's great to see that facility used as well as it is.
You're putting out a good product when you can put out, like for example, last Friday, the a cappella concert was a couple hours, and it felt like it was 5 minutes. And you give it up to the staff, and then there's kids out there that will put that show on, and they the Pops choir before. It was a middle school choir earlier in the week, and they put a lot of effort into those things, and they put out a good show. And I think Beaver Dam, the city of Beaver Dam, was named one of the top cities for musical education.
Correct.
Was it in the world, or is it just in Wisconsin?
I think it might be a North America thing.
North America thing.
But
there's just so many different things and opportunities that people have. We talk about sports a lot, but the activities and the clubs and the arts, just a bunch of different things going on.
Yeah, we do not take a minimalist approach when it comes to music education. So I mean, out of the gate at the elementary level, obviously through the middle school and then high school, and then as well as when you look at the community value for the arts and music, and then you have the staff that we do, and there's kind of a cultural expectation of that, which is good because as new staff members have come in, they've really embraced that mindset, and we have a lot to be proud of in Beaver Dam as far as what kind of experiences we can offer our kids.
Yeah, I think it's amazing too with the kids as well, because I know you've had this year a few times where kids have gone to track meets and then get in the car or get where they have to come back for a choir concert or a band concert.
Yeah.
So they're multitasking even on every day.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So lots of stuff going on, and I always tell my kids finish up strong, because every day you have a chance to learn is an opportunity that you need to take advantage of. So those last 10 days you need to do that.
It is. It's really important to make the most of every moment you have. That's for sure.
Thank the teacher who's teaching to that last minute of your last day of school.
I think they all
the
are.
education.
Wade.
Yes,
I'm convinced.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
Convinced of that. So we have awesome staff, which
We
is
do.
Yeah, something we want to talk about today.
Nicole
and I know
White.
Nicole's excited.
Nicole White, welcome.
Thank you.
I said we talked to you at the career fair, but welcome to Daily Dodge TV, and you're getting lots of stuff going on at Beaver Dam through the whole district, I guess you can say, and you have a lot of great people working for you, don't you?
We absolutely do. And last week was Staff Appreciation Week throughout the country, right? So we were able to appreciate all of our staff, teachers included, throughout the week. And, the district does some things for our staff, but our principals really kind of knock it out of the park and spoil them even further, which is amazing. So they always like to one-up us, though, Wade. They like to do something every day,
Perfect.
Which is good.
So Mark didn't make breakfast for the entire staff one morning?
No, I don't think
No?
he made breakfast for his kids either.
Oh, okay. Is that what it
okay.
is?
I don't think so. No, not that week.
Did they make it for you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but there was lots of ways that we could appreciate our staff last week, and we were able to do that. We brought in massage therapists and lots of snacks and flavored waters, and then the principals each did their own thing in their own buildings as well, and lots of fun was had last week, so that was good.
And those are things that I think people appreciate, right? Just small things that you can do to show you appreciate the hard work that gets put into a school year, and not only day to day, month to month, but the entire year. Because it can be a grind because there's a lot of things that need to get done, and being able to give back a little bit to the teachers and the staff as well across the board. It's kind of cool to remember that here towards the end of the year. It is,
and it's nicely fitted in the month of May when we're starting to celebrate all other things as well. So that works out great, and our staff is so diverse. We've got generations that represent our staff, as far as our veteran staff to our newest staff that are right out of school, and then everywhere in between. So that's been great too, with a wealth of experience there.
How important is that to have the good mix? You mentioned you have the established veterans who've been around for a while, and then you get kind of the new the new blood, if you will, coming in that are fresh out of school. They have just different ideas and perspectives on how to get through to our children and educate.
Yeah, I think that they all bring something very valuable to the table. So our veteran staff are able to kind of mold and be examples for some of our newer staff, but our newer staff have ideas that maybe we haven't tried yet. So I think our veteran staff are also learning from our newer, younger staff. So that's been really great. And, we learn things from them every day as well. So there's things that when we pop in classrooms that we see, and things that I wouldn't have thought of when I was teaching. So that's really exciting. And they come out with these great, fresh ideas, and it's really just a great dynamic team. So
what are some other things maybe people need to know about the staff that you have in the Beaver Dam Unified School District, maybe that they don't know about?
Yeah, well, we do have over 450 staff, and like I said, their diverse backgrounds are great. We have 144 of our teachers have master's degrees. 2 of them have terminal or doctoral degrees. 17 nationally board certified staff, which is great. And that's, we have 250 of our staff are teachers right now. So we are looking to replace a couple vacancies for next year. We've got 9 retirees, which is really kind of low for school districts right now. But we're losing, I don't remember the number, but I think it was over 145 years of experience with those staff who are leaving. So they've been great. We've really appreciated having them in our system. They're going to be amazing. Hopefully they come back and volunteer in some capacity moving forward. But our staff also, our current staff are volunteering in the community either as youth coaches or helping out at different concession stands or with the theater. They do a lot of things in the community, and our students do as well, which Mark kind of touched base on a little bit earlier.
That is important to, when you're in the hiring process, to not only hiring somebody that they're going to show up and be there for just I'm going to go to work in the morning, come back, but be involved in the community. And people notice that whether it's a district event or being involved in the theater, you see them at a park, or you see somebody. I know for a younger kid, seeing a teacher at a store, God forbid they're not in the classroom all day long. That amazes young kids a lot of times too, but they're involved in the community, and a community our size, that's important to be a part of what the community is all about.
Yeah, and Beaver Dam, it's a small community, but it's a big community at the same time. So it feels small. It's really tight knit, family focused. 70% of our staff live in the Beaver Dam School District, so that's also very helpful. But it also can create those interesting grocery aisle conversations sometimes outside of the workday. So.
Mark, you ever had any of those?
No, I wear really big sunglasses, 2 hats facing both ways, and a sweatshirt. No, I'm kidding. I love those conversations.
We're talking with the Beaver Dam Unified School District here. Let's talk on 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV. If you want to look at Mark's suit that he's got on today, dial us in on Daily Dodge TV, the Daily Dodge YouTube page, and dial us up. And we encourage you to click subscribe, because then whenever we do anything in the studio or high school sports, you'll get a notification on your phone, and you can watch us here on the studio, Mark.
Wade, you're hard
the
to
best.
handle.
You may be the best dressed person in Beaver Dam.
Yeah, right. In this studio right now, maybe, probably not. I'm second to Nicole.
Nicole will give you.
And for the record, it's not a suit; it's a sport coat.
Oh, it's just a sport coat.
And I'm not wearing a tie either. Wait,
okay.
So think about that.
So you're dressed down here today.
Pretty impressive, just for you.
See, I could have said it was a tuxedo, but now that we're on video, nobody knows.
Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yes.
So, how about the class of 2024?
Can you believe that? June 2nd is going to be graduation?
Yep, June 2nd, 1:30 p.m. I heard you guys talking about it on the radio, just so folks know it's a public event, but it's not a public event, right? So you have to have tickets to go there. So the graduates all get tickets for family, friends, and loved ones that they can have come to the event. But really, really excited. Over 280 students are going to graduate, a lot of awesome capacity. But when I think about this class, too, I think about the kind of the unique journey that they had. Right, so I believe, and either one of you can correct me on this, but I believe it would have been their 8th grade year, right, that things got really funny in the spring, right, across the country as it relates to Corona, et cetera. So that part of their kind of transitional journey where they would be like finalizing and polishing up that transition and preparing for that was significantly disrupted. And then when they started their high school experience, like just the model of delivery, what that looked like, what classes even looked like, the flow of their experience was very, very different their freshman year. And even their sophomore year at the beginning for us was a little bit, unique, but they've done an amazing job. I think they've got a unique set of perspective. I think that they're really, really grounded. And they've already gone through and processed through a lot of, unique disruptions and challenges and come together as a class. So super talented class. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of opportunities to celebrate them. So we live in a community that is extremely generous when it comes to scholarships, awards, other recognitions. We've got the longstanding Beaver Dam Scholarship Foundation, and they put on a wonderful event, and they award, I think, just under $300,000 worth of scholarships locally. All of those scholarships this year went to Beaver Dam High School students, which is pretty amazing, pretty powerful, obviously. We then have the Beaver Dam High School Scholarship Committee, which flows directly out of the Beaver Dam High School itself, and they just had their awards celebration last night and gave out a lot in awards too. So when you think about that, and you think about just locally, you're right around 500,000, just under, but scholarships available or opportunities for kids in our community. That's really, really powerful and impressive, and that's a testament to our community and those investments that people have made over the years. And a lot of those scholarships are maybe in memory or were part of a gift. Somebody's estate planning or otherwise, but just thinking forward about that investment. And our kids have earned those awards and recognitions, and we couldn't be more proud of them.
No, good stuff, Mark.
And how are you doing?
Oh, I almost I lost my voice all of a sudden here.
Yeah, well, it gets emotional when you talk about the class of 2024.
It is.
So it's something else I want to just call out, and I don't know where all the numbers will come in. We'll find out here as they button up a few things. But this class, from a youth apprenticeship standpoint, very, very high levels of participation. We're in the middle of AP testing. So while some kids are counting down the days, some kids are planning for their next advanced placement test. But this whole class, top to bottom, really, really engaged in a lot of forward planning thinking. I know Nicole and I have talked about this a little bit too. There's a lot of kids that are interested in service fields like the field of education, law enforcement, healthcare. So really excited to see what this class does and know that this class is really a great class, like all of our classes, but really service-minded. A lot of really deeply service-minded kids that are graduating, which is pretty awesome.
I'm going to try to talk. I don't know what happened to my Mark, I'm listening to you, and all of a sudden my voice went away.
Yeah. It just took your breath away?
It must have. I'm going to take a 60-second break to get an ABC News update here, and then we're going to come back. Let's talk with Mark DiStefano in the Beaver Dam Unified School District. you at 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV. Mark, am I going to get fired here?
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Not at all. Not at all. No. You're
Literally.
doing fine. I'm just glad that you're okay. I was worried that because you're a big guy, tall.
See,
you're a tall man. I was worried about, where exactly I was going to hit you with the Heimlich. But
see, I've
I think
always
you're
told,
fine.
though, and I've told like my broadcasting partner and stuff, if I'm ever broadcasting a game and something happens to me, just pick up the headset and finish and worry about me. Step
Sure.
over the top of me. Worry about me when the broadcast is over.
Yeah. Well, Cashman was ready to do it.
Cashman, are you okay? You want to host the rest of the show?
I don't think so.
No? Hey, let's introduce Ryan because he's, I guess, new to the show as well.
Yeah. So our director of business service here is going to talk a little bit about the busy summer that we have. You were just
I'm turning it to you now.
What's happening? No.
zombies
So we've got
are
a really
finally
busy summer's a busy time.
It is.
So and nobody appreciates how completely and comprehensively busy the summer is, probably more than a business manager.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a perfect opportunity for Ryan to talk about, all the different goings-ons in the summer and different focus areas. And I know he's excited to be here, so we'll turn it over to Ryan.
Yes.
Ryan, thank you.
Yeah, so the summer, school board wise, we're presenting a preliminary budget in July, which just basically allows the school to start purchasing.
Sure.
Has a little bit of direction, and that'll get finalized as we move into the fall a little bit more. But we have that. We have our audits. We have our final grant claims. Just planning for the next school year and wrapping up the previous one all at the same time. There's a lot going on with that.
How does the budget, I know it's probably do it 2 hours on how the budget process works, but when you get to this time of year, what types of things are you looking for in the budget process and to get you ready for the summer?
So really concentrating on salary and fringe right now because that makes up about 70 to 80% of our budget, depending on the given year. So we're just making sure that's aligned and going as we thought it would. And then grants are a big part of it, making the final claims through the Department of Public Instruction, getting that revenue into our system. And then as we're wrapping up this year, we're planning for the next too.
How do you go about looking for grants and things like that maybe fit the Beaver Dam Unified School District?
So most of our grants are pretty statewide.
Sure.
All school district gets, at least the bigger ones are. A big part of that is special education, and then obviously over the last 4 years we've hit ESSER. ESSER has been a big part of our budget, but this is the last year of those funds.
Okay.
So as those drop off, now we have to find a way to replace that revenue.
Okay.
Little grants, some teachers do a really nice job of applying for some smaller grants. Kind of one of our big projects this summer is some improvements at Wilson Elementary, getting prepared for that to take on the daycare in the coming years. And I know our principal there, Ashley Janspa, did a grant that for $15,000 that helps offset some of those costs. So things like that happen sporadically. It depends on the year. So, and any year can be different. So.
All right. So again, stuff doesn't stop in the summer, right? It keeps
No.
on going. For you, does it pick up even more?
Summer's the busiest time. July through Thanksgiving is probably the busiest time of the year for the business and operation office. Yeah, but it's good. I mean, it's a good busy. It keeps you on your toes. It's never the same, but you just working in basically 3 fiscal years at once for those couple months, and then as you wrap it up, then you move on to the next.
Sure.
So.
Now, is this a career path that you thought you'd be in?
No.
Where did you start? Like, how did you end up? Like, how did you weave your way through and find this honey hole here in Beaver Dam?
I used to do mortgage loans.
Okay.
And just kind of took a flyer on a business manager position in another district. I was there for 8 years, and this is my first year in Beaver Dam. So I'm excited. It's been a good year.
Awesome. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it's been good. So we got a lot of the business stuff, Mark, going on as well. And then summer school wise, what do we need to know about that?
There's a lot of kids participating once again, which is awesome. We want to see as many kids as we can and help partner with families to provide kids with great, safe, positive experiences throughout the summer. So just reminding folks too that if you know somebody that is interested in having their child participate in summer school, it is not too late. We put obviously deadlines in place for applications or target timelines. But you can always reach out to the district office and ask to speak with Caitlin Dwyer. She's the associate principal over at Prairie View. She also oversees the whole summer school programming, and she can help you get the answers that you might need. Work through any questions that you might have, and then get you in contact with other people. But we want to provide as many opportunities as we can. We'll be well over 400 students at the elementary level this year participating in summer school, which is always awesome. You think about that number; it's a pretty powerful opportunity for kids. We partner with other entities to make sure that if beyond that typical summer school timeline, there's maybe childcare needs or otherwise. So there's partnerships and opportunities in play. Lunch is provided through the summer school program. We offer shuttles to help get kiddos that might have a hard time getting there to those places. And then outside of the elementary, at both the middle school and high school programming, that's all offered at the high school campus.
Okay.
Which is great, as well as some other things. So people in the community might be familiar with, our Kids in the Kitchen programming, which is super popular. That runs out of the high school. Some of our music programming and some of that instruction also runs out of the high school as well. But really excited. There's still more opportunities to sign up if people haven't done so. But it's a wonderful thing, and there's a lot of staff. We're so appreciative of the staff that take that time to work in the summer and provide that value add. Whether it be bolstering up those core academic skills for some kiddos that need that, or it's providing those enrichment experiences. But we can't do this work without staff, and we're fortunate we have a lot of our staff that do it. We also have staff from other districts or people who might work in another district or have an educational background but live in Beaver Dam, and they might work for us during the summer school program. So
sure, and I was one of those parents that needed like 3 emails reminding me that summer school deadline was coming up. I think the third one I finally got. No, I should get a $100 fine because I forgot to ask Ryan what else do we need to talk about with you before I went on to summer school. Did I get everything or not? Was there a few other things that you needed?
I'll jump in here in a little bit. I will make a shameless plug for summer school, though. The district does get when students are enrolled in summer school, we can count their minutes, which helps our FTE and enrollment, and that is part of the aid formula in the state of Wisconsin. So even if your family has a vacation planned or you're going to miss some days, don't be afraid to sign up. The staff will work through that with you, and it does impact our finances for the coming year as well.
So don't shy away. Like I said, if you're going to miss a couple of days or
that's fine.
It's fine. They can make it work. There's different aspects of summer school, right? Some people think summer school is for catch-up time, but that's not really the case. No. There's so many different enrichment type opportunities for kids to take part in a wide variety of things. I know Ross Damon, I was talking to him about it, he's offering a tennis class this summer, I think. Yeah,
there's tennis classes. The elementary tends to be the heaviest from that enrichment side. But there's anything from, gardening and camping, skills. It's not like we're taking a bunch of elementary kids to the Boundary Waters, relax. But, those types of things. Introduction to police work is like super popular right now. So we've got police officers, other law enforcement coming in. They get to, meet the canine dogs and have that whole experience and understanding the value that law enforcement adds to a community and what those folks do in the big picture about their job. So there's a lot of just a huge diversity, robotics, programming, coding, those types of things. And then middle school and high school also have some enrichment opportunities, but particularly at the high school, it really gets into more of that traditional credit recovery. But the high school has some really robust fitness programming that they do and opportunities for kids to stay active. Again, it's a controlled environment. It's a safe place. You know where your kiddo's at, and you know that they're adding value to their life by experiencing those types of things. So it's good to have kids busy. Busy kids it's a good thing to have as a parent. So
better than watching TikTok all day, right?
Definitely a lot better than watching TikTok all day. Yes.
And just get only 3 hours a day instead of 8. By going in summer school.
Yep, I would vote for 0, but I don't want to get into that too much. So
we're talking with Mark DiStefano from the Beaver Dam Unified School District, Nicole White, Human Resources, Ryan Cashman from Business Services, also here. We have a full house. You can come and check us out on Daily Dodge TV right now on the Daily Dodge TV tab, or by searching Daily Dodge TV on YouTube. So. Summer school, again, not that far away. Also, project-wise, Mark, what do we need to know about some things going on across the district?
Well, you heard Ryan talk about how busy he is in the summer. So one of the things that he gets to do is he the district facility and safety officer, B&G, that all reports to the director of business services. So he gets to manage and oversee those projects with Troy Marshall, the district facility and safety officer. So he's the expert on our projects. So Ryan, you want to?
Yeah, we got a number of things going on this summer. And for those of you that aren't familiar, the fiscal year for the school district ends on June 30th. So there is some strategy involved into when we do the projects. Obviously, Prairie View's a little bit tougher because it's being used all summer, so we have to kind of fit in what we can there. But anything that's done prior to June 30th this year is falling under this current year's budget. Anything after July 1st is under next year's budget. So we've got HVAC work in a number of places. We're rounding out some work at Jefferson and Prairie View building. Those both, Prairie View is over the 25-year mark, so we're starting to see some preventative maintenance that needs to happen there. Some other items that are coming up that we need to actively tackle here going forward. We've got parking lot ceiling going on. We've got some roofing work being done at the high school. Some safety fencing pieces put in across the whole district. So yeah, there's a lot of projects going on right
Do you
now.
have certain projects that you hit? You mentioned 25 years, like for a few things that preview. Do you have like certain numbers where you like to hit when it comes to, okay, we hit this time frame and we know that we probably need to do something here just because it could cause an issue, longer term down the road if we wait?
Yeah, I'd say like HVAC and roofing specifically, the life is generally 20 years is what they say. We get more out of it than 20 years, but you got to have it on your radar at 20 years on, okay, this is starting to go, it could have issues, and then start planning for that. We have a 5-year facility plan. We have a 10-year capital plan for some of these items that we do keep an eye on, and then work those in as the budget allows.
Are all the buildings in the district right now, are they all have a climate control? Like, we have air conditioning in all the buildings and such now?
I believe so. Mark, is that?
So elements of them
Yes.
in all of the buildings, yes. Comprehensively throughout all the buildings, absolutely not. So, different areas, different buildings,
Sure.
have, we'll call them soft spots or limitations. So probably the most, I don't want to say poorly, the one that has the most climate control limitations right now, or the biggest issues would be the middle school and then Washington Elementary. So a lot of that has to do with just system, age, layout, other things that we need to address, which we've talked to the community about and we'll continue to do so. Jefferson, we've made some really nice gains there, but we've got a couple things that we need to round out, as Ryan referenced. Lincoln Elementary, we were able to do a great job with that a few years back when we were doing some other work at Jefferson Elementary. And then Wilson, some areas of that are. And then we've got some other things as we kind of bolster up some of those rooms and do some of those infant classroom, we'll call them updates and preparations for that transition over. We'll also shore up some of those things so we can be good stewards as landlords for the guests that we're going to have using that facility.
Sure. Are we doing anything, or is anything scheduled? And it's a big probably next couple of weeks for the people over at Wilson, just with transitions going on and things like that. Remembering all the great things that have happened there.
So so remember they're in operation next year.
Okay, next year too yet? Okay.
Next year, yeah. So, but there are some transitions. I mean, as you think about, there won't be a new kindergarten class, for
Okay, that's
example,
what it
right?
is.
And we're monitoring and making some other adjustments as it relates to where students are going to be, depending on some of the class sizes. So we might have a few more kids, and actually planning on having, I believe, one of the other grade levels probably actually be starting that transition over to Washington, but Wilson will still operate as an elementary school next year. But they'll have new visitors, right? So we're excited about having some babies at Wilson Elementary as well, and that'll be kind of that first step in. And then that next year, as we kind of get to the same time period next year, we'll be working through kind of that sunset, that kind of celebration and closing the chapter. And then the big move into to the Washington family is going to be happening.
That was a $100 fine on my part for being 1 year ahead of the.
You're down $200.
I'm out $200 today.
$200.
Now, so when it comes
I
to,
expect to be able to. You're going to buy all of my brats this summer at any brat fry that you.
how about I'll just say just tell them that I'll make you a pass, a card.
No, I want to see you pay for it.
Me pay for it?
Yeah.
We'll see. I only got a couple.
I'll let it go.
I can afford a couple of them, but again, so people see work being done at the schools, over the summer, that it's being done to help, the educational process and
one thing too, Ryan and Troy do a great job of working with contractors too. Some of the work sometimes, some of it is, there's different equipment being used, and sometimes things can get a little bit loud. We're really sensitive to time. We want to be good neighbors, right? But if somebody has an issue or they see something, that bothers them as a neighbor, please call us, let us know, because if there's something to address, we want to do that. We want to be good neighbors, and we want to be responsive. And sometimes we don't know if there's an issue, and it's not like the contractors are trying to cause a problem. We have awesome contractors we work with, but if there's something that's kind of cramping your style, or you think it's an issue that we should address, please let us know so we can address it. If we don't find out, we can't address it.
So again, a lot of great stuff going on here, and now I guess going to be Nicole back in now.
I think so.
To talk a little bit about things
here.
with hiring and planning as we kind of try to put the bow on this school year. You mentioned the fiscal year ends on June 30th. What do people need to know?
Well, we are hiring, so that's always good to know. We are looking for several positions next year, and when we're looking for those positions, we have to take into consideration how we're using our tax funds, right? So we're maintaining our amazing classroom sizes. So Beaver Dam is known for a really great teacher-student ratio. So we're maintaining those classroom sizes, but then filling the positions that are most needed in our district. So right now, we are looking for a computer technician to work at our elementary buildings. We're looking for a few coaches, so boys swimming, girls basketball, JV2 football. And special education teachers are hugely sought after in every district right now. So that would probably be our biggest soft point right now is special education teachers. We are also looking for a middle school Spanish teacher and an elementary counselor or social worker. So lots of opportunities to work in our district. Our district is very progressive, and it's probably the best paying in the area. Our benefit system is amazing. So if anybody has any questions, I would love to entertain those, and they could give me a call or stop by a walk-in Wednesday and talk about job opportunities in our district, and I'm happy to entertain those.
We'll talk about walk-in Wednesdays if people aren't familiar.
Yeah, so every month except for July, because it always falls during 4th of July vacations for everyone. So every month except for July, the first Wednesday of the month, you can walk into the district office and get an interview on the spot with a member of our HR team. And you don't have to know what you're applying for. You just come in, talk to us about what your background is, what your interests are, passions related to working with kids, and we can help identify maybe where they might best serve the needs of our students in our community, and if they're able to help us in our district in some way, shape, or form.
What do you look for from a candidate? Somebody who comes in, what do you look for a perfect candidate that would fit into the Beaver Dam Unified School District?
That's a great question, Wade. We have non-negotiables in our district where people have to come in, obviously, with a passion for kids and an ownership in their success, right? So we need to believe that all students can learn, and we need to be extremely professional in delivering that. So that's the biggest things that we look for. Everything else we can train. We can educate. We can put people through programs. Those are all learnable tasks. But if you don't have that belief in students or ownership over the student success, that's the biggest parts for us.
Well, again, if they walk in Wednesdays or if they check the school district website, they can find more information. Or is it the We Can? Is that what it's called?
We Can, yep. Yeah, there's a link on our school website. There's little QR codes all over the community on business cards and taglines on emails. You can find the information anywhere.
Excellent. So again, if you're interested in joining the team, make a contact in some way.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for joining us here, Nicole. Any last words from you today?
No, thanks for having us on.
Mark? Ryan?
Ryan, you got something?
No, I don't.
You sure?
You sure?
I'm good.
Yeah. So last thing for me would be, we're entering into the summer months. As we heard, there's a lot of things going on, ton of activities going on in the community. Just want to remind folks to celebrate Beaver Dam, celebrate the community. I know things will get interesting. I'm sure if people are watching commercials and we think about the fall of 2024, there'll probably be some interesting dynamics. But there's a lot of wonderful things going on, a lot of great things to do here in this area. So please celebrate them and share the success and opportunities that you've had to raise your families or live in this community, and help cultivate having more wonderful people join us.
It is. Now, Mark, I'm trying to remember, do you get to speak at graduation?
Not really. It's super brief.
Okay.
So essentially, I Russ presents the class, I receive the class. So our graduation is super cool in that it's really student-led. And I remember when I came to the district almost 15 years ago, as a high school principal, that first year you kind of like embrace whatever they had been doing, and it was pretty amazing. And generally speaking, we've really stuck with that. So you have student MCs. Obviously, the principal addresses the class, presents the class. I get to receive the class. But the speeches, those are kids. The MCs, those are kids. It's really about them. It's their class, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I know, but you guys, I can still remember my graduation. I still remember, even more than my graduation, I remember the last day I walked out of my high school. The last day you actually were, it's like yesterday. I'm like, oh, what do I do now? And do you still have those vivid memories of the walking out of high school for the last time?
I do, yes.
I didn't know what was next.
I don't know if I have some vivid memories from my senior year.
Okay. You don't remember the last day of school, though?
I do not. I remember graduation, but then I had the fortune of being able to coach there right away while I was in college. So I spent a lot of time there.
I remember though going like to Shopco the day after because seniors were done before the rest of the school, thinking somebody's gonna come and like try to like haul me back into school, thinking I was like truant. Never so nervous in my life.
Yeah, it all turned out all right.
Well, again, graduation is the second. There's a lot of great things going on the last few weeks of the school year with awards banquets and just ways to celebrate and ways to learn. Mark and Nicole, Ryan, thanks for coming in. Again, if anybody wants any more information on the Beaver Dam Unified School District, what do they need to do?
They can visit the website, www.bdusd.org, or they can call the district office. I'd love to speak with them if they have any questions, concern, or otherwise. It's extension 1111.
All right, Mark DiStefano, Nicole White, Ryan Cashman, thank you so much for the time. And Mark, you said we're going to talk to you in June, maybe?
June and July.
July.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a busy summer, and we're going to have a lot to talk about.
All right, you've been listening and watching Let's Talk on 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Thursday.